What's cracking, Jack? It's Friday, January 2nd, and you're in the jungle. 10 games on tap in the association. I've got them all for you right here, right now. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. Here's how it works. I'm going to break down every game in the NBA. I'm going to give you either a side or a total for each one of those games and a player prop. Now, I don't recommend betting every single bet, every single game, so take what you want and leave what you don't. If you want to bet what I'm betting, if you want my exact betting card and you want to play the games that I'm betting myself and have given to members, you can get my betting card by becoming a member at silverbackjungle.com or texting free trial to the number on your screen. There's also a link for it in the comments section. There's also a link to my $5 favorite play of the day. And if you want just my single best bet of the day for $5 and no further commitment, there's a link in the comments section for that as well, and the $5 favorite gets sent right to your phone. Today's video is brought to you by mybookie.ag. Open up a new account today at mybookie.ag using promo code SILVERBACK. And if your first bet doesn't hit, it's refunded up to $500. Yesterday's recap, we was 0-3. We missed Amen Thompson rebounds, we missed Joel Embiid points, and we missed Nick Clifford over points and rebounds. Pardon me. Today's journey begins in our nation's capital, with the Nets laying 1.5 taking on the Wizards over under 225.5. Both of these basement dwellers have won 5 of their last 10 games straight up. The Wizards have been a bit better against the spread, though, than the Nets have, covering 7 of their last 10 games. Washington also 5-2 against the number of their last 7 games when lined as an underdog. I'd take the Wizards, the home team, plus the 1.5, and I'd look at Trey Johnson of the Wizards over 13.5 points. With Keyshawn George out of the lineup, which he is today, Johnson's covered this number in 4 of 4 games with a median of 17 points a game. San Antonio, minus 5.5, taking on the Pacers in Indiana, over under 238.5. Wemby and Vassell out for the Spurs. I still like San Antonio minus the points. The Pacers are the lowest scoring team in the NBA at the moment, and I don't think they can keep up with the firepower that the Spurs have. Indiana also lost 10 straight games and have a point differential of -9 per game on the season. I would lay the 5.5 with the Spurs, and I would consider Stephon Castle of San Antonio over 6.5 assists. He's over this number in 8 of his last 10 games. Atlanta plus 7.5 at Madison Square Garden, taking on the Knicks over under 245.5. Trae Young questionable. Now the Knicks are a different team at home. They're 14-4 against the spread in their last 18 home games. I think they'll cover this number against the Hawks. I would lay the 7.5, but I'd also look at Kristaps Porzingis of the Hawks to go over 13.5 points. It's just his second game back, but I think the line is a little bit low. He's on a minutes restriction, but he hit this number last game, his first game back, and he's over this line in 13 of his 14 games played this season. Denver plus 13.5 at Cleveland, over under 240.5. Life without Joker is tough, but they're 1-0 without him. Beat the Raptors. Competitive, tough team. 13.5 points is too many. They're well coached and they have a lot of talent. Too many to give this team. I would take the 13.5 points with the Nuggets, and I consider Peyton Watson of Denver over 14.5 points. If last game is any indication how the Nuggets are going to play without Joker, they'll switch to more of a small ball lineup. Watson saw 38 minutes last game and had 24 points. He shot 19 times. Charlotte plus 5.5 at Milwaukee, taking on the Bucks over under 232.5. These two teams just played December 29th in Charlotte, and the Bucks won by 10 as a 3.5 point favorite. Now they return home as a 5.5 point favorite, and I like them here. Coming off of a bad game on New Year's Eve against Washington where they lost, but Giannis's return to the lineup makes them a dangerous team despite last game. I would lay the 5.5 with the Bucks at home, but I'd consider Brandon Miller of the Hornets for a prop over 19.5 points. He's over this line in 4 of his last 5 games. He's playing 36 minutes a game, and he's got 64 points over his last 2 contests. Orlando minus 5.5 at Chicago. The Bulls over under 233.5. Kobe White and Josh Giddey out again for the Bulls. The Magic have Jalen Suggs back. Anthony Black is staying in the starting lineup. So their starting 5 looks like this: Suggs, Black, Bane, Banchero, and Carter. That's too much for the Bulls to take on, in my opinion, without their 2 best players. I would lay the 5.5 with the Magic, and I would consider Desmond Bane of Orlando over 4.5 assists. Portland at New Orleans. -1.5 the Blazers are. The over-under is 244.5. Sadiq Bey and Derek Queen both questionable for the Pelicans. Jeremy Grant out for the Blazers. Should be a high-scoring game, and I look to the over 244.5. Always look to play the high totals over and the low totals under, not as a rule, but just as a filter. And ordinarily, totals this high aren't high enough. So I go over the 244.5, and I look at Zion over 24.5 points. He's back in the starting lineup and has 63 points in his last 2 games. Sacramento plus 12.5 at Phoenix, over under 226.5. It's a high number, but it's high for a reason. The Kings, who used to be known for scoring a lot of points, score the least amount of points in the West at just 110.9 per game. And they have a point differential of -11.4 per contest. The Suns are very good at home. They're 12-4 at home their last 16 games against the spread. Phoenix also very good when lined as a favorite, 19-2 straight up in their last 21. I would lay the big number with the Suns, and I would consider Colin Gillespie of Phoenix over 20.5 points and assists. He's over this line in 7 of his last 10 games with a median of 23 per. OKC -8.5 at Golden State. The over-under 229.5. Steph Curry listed as questionable. The Thunder have beaten the Warriors both times they've played them this season by at least 12 points, including once here already in San Francisco. So I would lay the number with the Thunder, and I would consider Brandon Pachomsky of Golden State, though, over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And the last game we're looking at, Memphis plus 3.5 at the Lakers. The over-under 240.5. The Lakers have lost 4 of their last 5 straight up and have only covered the spread 3 of their last 10 games. They're also 1-5 against the spread at home in their last 6. The problem is I don't trust the Grizzlies either, so I'm looking to the over 240.5. The over's hitting 12 of the Lakers' last 14 home games, and I also like Cedric Howard of Memphis over 16.5 points and assists. Have a great day, Jungle Nation. Let me know your favorite plays of the day in the comment section, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.